Hello Virgo, welcome to your monthly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the month of February 2023. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. I ask you to connect directly with the cards, and use your own intuition to take you beyond just what I'm saying, okay? Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. We have the Lover's card. That's a rather interesting way to begin. Okay, let's put that into some context, though, with our Dove and Serpent spread. Interesting. It seems like this reading is going to be right on the money today. It does seem like there's a lot of interesting things going on. I think you might be involved in a relationship now, and I think that for some reason there's like a dilemma going on with you about the relationship, that you're kind of uncertain where to go with it, or even how you feel about it, or like what decision to make. It almost feels like there's a decision that you're kind of contemplating in your relationship. And I don't know what that is or why that is. I have some ideas. But I feel like this is talking about a relationship that you're in now, okay? And it does feel like it's a romantic relationship because of some of these other cards that I have here. Now, I think, Virgo, in some of your past readings, we've had some Cancer person in your life, some water sign energy, right? So that we could still be talking about the same person. It could be that's your partner, your significant other, your spouse, or something. But I feel like there's some kind of a decision that you're contemplating. I think you're the type of person that is always trying to choose the greater good. You're always trying to choose, like, what is the right thing to do? What is the path of love here? What is going to help you reach your goals, and what is going to help you kind of fulfill the spiritual aspirations that you have? At the same time, what is going to be best for everyone else, but you also have to do what is going to be best for you. Okay, so it feels like you're kind of split or torn. You're kind of in this suspended position, right, where you've got to make this choice. You're kind of right on the edge of something, and not that you're second guessing or having second thoughts, but maybe you're trying to reassess where you stand, and you're kind of looking back at things to wonder if you've made the right decision. Because I feel like with this Lover's card, it's like maybe the commitment is already there, but you're just starting to think like, okay, is this really what I thought it was? Is this what, where I should be in my life? Is this what I really want? Is this leading me? Is this helping me to my goal of, the spiritual fulfillment? Whatever that looks like, whatever that means to you, okay? So I feel like it's a little bit of an analysis, a little bit of a reassessment of where you are in this relationship with this person, okay? And I feel like that's the type of person that you are. You always try to see your life, your decisions, the events, your circumstances in relation to your spiritual journey, your overall path in life, And in something like this, it's just like you're trying to think, okay, well, did I make the right decisions to help me toward my goal? Or did I maybe take a wrong turn somewhere? But at the same time, if you're on this spiritual journey, there kind of are no wrong turns, right? It may feel like you've made a bad decision, but that was the decision that you were kind of meant to make at that time. There's that way of looking at things. But I see that you're always someone who tries to choose the right thing in every moment. You try to do what is morally correct, but more than that, what is like the spiritually kind of correct thing to do. And you know what I mean? In terms of your aspirations, your overall life path, and instill in some way what's going to be best for everyone. But the primary focus is on this this path that you're on, this trajectory that you feel like you're on, this kind of spiritual journey, with your life. And I think that you are someone that looks back at the past and tries to analyze, tries to sort through all the data, all the experiences, all of the decisions to see how did we get here? What were all the choices that were made that led us right here now to this moment? Okay, so I feel like you're in this kind of an in-between phase, or this this deeply kind of analytical or introspective even kind of phase with things. Okay. What I see coming your way this week, though, and to kind of bring us out of this kind of bad mood that I feel like it's kind of a bad mood. We have the Three of Cups. This is a lot of love. This is a lot of celebration. This is a lot of exchanging of energy and affection and love and joy and abundance with the people around you. Okay. This is, it could, be about, sharing a meal and sharing, hugs and kisses and physical affection, physical care and support and nurturing. But I think this is more like emotional support, emotional affection and understanding and sharing of this kind of emotional love energy. So maybe sharing some of your concerns, some of your thoughts, some of these analyses, that you're kind of in your head about, maybe sharing those. And maybe to get out of your head a little bit, transition over to the physical expression of love and affection, whether this is just, intimacy of some kind, right? I think everybody has different, what do they call it, love languages, right? But express your feelings, express your love and affection, not just the doubt and the negative, so-called negative emotions. Not just your doubt and your criticisms or your uncertainty or your analysis and your feelings about that, but express the positive emotions that you feel too, because I'm assuming that they are there. Express those as more, at least equally, if not more than you express the frustration or the doubt or the annoyance or the uncertainty or the fear even, okay? So the Three of Cups is really about understanding how you're feeling and understanding how you're expressing that. What is it that you choose to express? What are you not expressing? Is there a balance there? Is there too much of the expression of the so-called negative emotions? Not enough expression of the positive emotions? Or that love and affection, whatever your love language is. So I feel like this week is really a time for you to assess that, right? Assess, and if you find yourself expressing more of kind of one side or the other, more of the so-called negative, try to get to the bottom of that. Why do you think that is? Is it because you have this this more kind of generalized anxiety and doubt and uncertainty and kind of worry about where you're at in life in a more general, broad sense? And then in a more specific sense, if you're kind of doubting your commitment to this particular person, or is it just kind of something that you really, you may not be able to discover why it is that the negative emotions are coming out more than the positive. So what we could do is try to go to the opposite. Try to make an intentional effort to express more positivity. Not to cover up, not to mask, not to deny your negative emotions, or not to deny any emotions, but just to establish some balance and to see how that feels for you. To see what that does to you, if that can kind of build up. Maybe there's a blockage of this, the positive expression. So we just need to do a little experiment and see if that's going to help things or if it's going to just feel completely unnatural. You know what I mean? We all have different ways of expressing our emotions. And I'm not saying that any way is wrong or incorrect. I'm just saying if there is an imbalance there, and if it is related to this more, I think, deep-seated, generalized anxiety and uncertainty and doubt and questioning, let's just do that experiment and see kind of how it works out. Okay. In the recent past, I see that there was some kind of harsh words between you and probably your person here. You may even feel a little bit of guilt over it. I think that maybe some things have been said that you kind of regret. Sometimes you could be a little bit harsh with your words, or a little bit, I want to say cold and calculating, but it's different than that. It's like you can be intentionally hurtful because you know how to push people's buttons, right? You know kind of what to say or how to act or what to do to get at someone in like a subtle way. You know what I mean? It's a skill for sure. And I think that there's been a particular instance of this recently, and it was something that you kind of feel a little bad about now. Okay, there maybe were some words exchanged that weren't very pleasant, weren't very nice. An unpleasant exchange. Okay. Not just on your part. I think it's from both sides. I think it's just a lot of this kind of poison daggers. It's like we know how to just pierce somebody just right to get to them, you know, in kind of a subtle way even. So it might not be an overt argument or cruelty or meanness or, you know, unkindness or putting someone down in a very direct way. Could be more subtle through body language, through micro expressions, through sarcasm or passive aggressions, things like that, a little bit more subtle, but maybe not as subtle as you think, you know. But I think there is a little bit of poison on those daggers, so you kind of know what you're doing when you do it. But I think you also sometimes feel guilty when things kind of go that route, you know. But anyway, I think there was a rather particular event where there was some of that conflict or animosity or some of that kind of unkindness, an unpleasant exchange that happened recently. And maybe that is also contributing to why you're just kind of in this kind of dilemma. I feel like you're just kind of weighing your decisions. You're analyzing a little bit. You're kind of trying to see different angles of it and determine if you're on the right path or not. Okay. Down beneath everything, we see this Hierophant. This is a real kind of cooperative thing. I think that you are in any environment. I think you really adapt. You really kind of go above and beyond to help others, to do what needs to be done, to take responsibility, to try to create the necessary environment for everybody involved. So I think that you go out of your way to try to make the other person comfortable. And there's some kind of an unconscious need for this. It has a rather unconscious origin where you feel this need to kind of overdo it, to try extra hard to make someone else comfortable or to provide help or to be of service. Right? With the Hierophant, it's kind of it's a helpful service that we're offering to others, but I think because this is beneath the path of the dove, it's kind of unconscious. I think it's a compensation for something. I think it's being overdone a little bit, you know. This is a wonderful quality, major arcana card. The Hierophant is a wonderful card. But I think because of its position and because of the other cards around it, I think that it is compensating for something. Right? Compensating maybe for a little bit of this air and water that we see kind of above it, right? And the water and the earth, they sort of get along, but they're not best friends. So I think that the Hierophant energy, what we're talking about here, this trying to be of service, trying to always provide and do things for other people, it could be a way of you trying to express the positive emotions, but it maybe is presenting as, it's kind of overdoing it as a little bit too, I don't think it's being received the way you intend it to be received, okay? Let me put it that way. I think it could be part of your love language, part of your expression, but I think it is also an unconscious need to do that, and it's an overcompensation. You're kind of overdoing it, and so it's being received in a different way rather than the intended kind of love language, affection kind of way, okay? And I think that this has something to do with the way that we can be kind of cruel or subtly kind of cruel to each other. And there's that the unpleasant exchanges that sometimes happen between the two of you. I think that is in some way affecting this Hierophant, this need to kind of be of service. It could be that you overcompensate for that unpleasant exchange by trying to do too much. But again, it's not being received the right way. It's not being received in the intended way. Okay. I also see as part of your energy this Wheel of Fortune, this Jupiter energy. I think that there is not as much faith, hope, and trust in you as you would like there to be. I think this is something that's above the surface. It's something that you consciously want, that you focus on, that you acknowledge. But I just feel like there's not really enough of it. I think it's sometimes, at certain times, you're able to just kind of surrender to the universe, trust in things, accept what's going on, go with the flow, have faith in yourself, in your choices, in your spirit, your guides, God, goddess, deity, universal mind, universal energy, your guardian angel, all of these things. Have faith and trust in that, in the universe, right? I think you really want that, but you're having a difficult time getting to this point because your mind, this Lover's card, and that Nine of Swords too, kind of get in your way, and you get back in your head, you get back in your emotions, and you feel like you can't really trust yourself right now. Okay? You feel like maybe you have trusted yourself, and it led you to this situation now that you aren't happy in. Okay? So this card is not here to say, look, you just need to accept the situation and trust that everything's going to work out. No, I mean, you still have to make the decisions for yourself. If this is an unhappy situation, if this is an unhealthy or a toxic situation, you need to get out of there, right? The trust, the faith, the hope is in yourself, for yourself, In the immediate future, this is that Cancer person or the water energy person that I think is probably your significant other. It's the other person in this relationship that we're talking about. Now, this might not be necessarily romantic. It could be a friend or a family member. It could even be a coworker that we're talking about, right? But I feel like they have this energy about them where they don't know what else to do but to move away from you. Not in the general sense, but to literally just to put some distance between you and them, because from this Nine of Swords and through this obvious doubt, questioning, analytical mode that you're in, they don't know what else to do other than just kind of protect themselves and go isolate themselves or just go protect themselves. And you can see just the way this is transitioning here, these cards, this flow. We've got the Nine of Swords here. We've got this, it kind of looks like a rocket ship of these emotions coming at this person. And they're just they're taking their valuables, they're taking their vulnerable spot, their heart, and they're trying to carry it off somewhere to protect it, because that's that's their primary mode right now, is the self-protection, self-preservation. So it feels like it's a little bit of a sticky situation that you're in right now, But I think it is solvable. I think it is, at least through some of this water energy that we were talking about with the Three of Cups, trying to express more of the love and positivity and affection. If you feel it, right? Don't force it, but just understand the balance of how much negative you're expressing versus how much positive you're expressing, right? And try to fine-tune that love language, maybe, so that the two of you can kind of meet on a mutual ground, Let's move to the path of the Serpent now. Definitely see that there are days, ups and downs, ons and offs, where sometimes it feels really good, really strong. The love, the connection, the joy, the pleasure is there. Other days it's not. Some days glass half full, some days glass half empty. Okay. And I feel like this is kind of taking a lot out of you. I feel like you're someone who can really put up with a lot. You don't need things to be intensely perfect and joyful all the time. You understand the ups and downs of life and the joy and the sorrow. And, that's the way life is, right? Things are always fluctuating. But I think the more this fluctuates toward the negative, the less of a positive there is when it has its upswing. It's swinging back and forth, but it's just kind of going down, down, down slowly at the same time. Eventually, these cups are going to be empty. I think there's only so much that you can tolerate. There's almost only so much of this emotional turmoil that you can really deal with. And eventually there will be a point where these cups are empty and there's no like recovery from it. Okay. The next card is the Environment, Five of Pentacles. I think there's a lot of kind of chaos going on at home in your environment. It feels like things are shifting and changing. It feels like there's a lot of activity, a lot of busyness going on, right? Not a lot of time for just stability, safety, security, relaxation, rebuilding the foundation, you know, strengthening the walls. It feels like everything's always moving. Could be that you have a very busy life. Could be that there's a lot of activity in the home, maybe a lot of people there, or a lot of noise, a lot of activity. It could be that there's a financial or a health consideration also that we haven't really focused on. Could be something, you know, the finances are uncertain right now or unstable. Could be that there's a health issue that's a little unstable right now. Could be all of these things, okay, that are just giving you this, they're enabling you at this time to reassess where you're at in your life, okay? So it could be some health, could be some finances, could be just a lot of activity going on around you. All of these things at once, kind of a perfect storm, a trifecta, you know. The next card that I see is the Six of Swords. This is like, in some ways, I kind of feel like you need a vacation. The Six of Swords sometimes indicates a long distance traveling. You know, it used to be a traveling by water, because it's kind of just a slow, it's a quiet, it's a relaxing kind of getaway. You know, not just jet setting somewhere for business and rushing back I think that's what we do for vacations now, right? It's just, we rush there, we try to fit as much shit as we can while we're on vacation, and we rush back home, and we rush back to work. The Six of Swords is about just that slow journey. So they used to say it was a journey by water, by sea, right? Because it takes a long time to get there. So it's just kind of just relaxing for a while, and then coming back. It's just nice and slow. And I think that's kind of what you need in your life right now to get a better plan, to formulate a better structure for your life, a better blueprint, a better assessment of what's going on and how to work it, how to fix it, how to go forward, what to do. Is your real blueprint, right? So I feel like you need a few days of non-activity, right? You need a vacation that is an actual vacation. That's an actual slow, calm, relaxing, nothing to kind of do for a few days. And then you can get centered. Then you can find that all those swords are pointed right to the center, right to the heart of that rose cross. That's what you need to find. Get in touch with that. I almost wonder if we have a hermit card here somewhere. And you know what I realized we didn't put out? The mystery card. So we're going to do that in just a moment here. But I think that all of this mental energy will find its clarity, its center, and you'll understand what you need to do with your life, where you need to go, what the reality of things are. I think this vacation is going to be important. I think it doesn't even have to be a vacation, just a quiet time, a quiet, restful period where you don't have anything to do. Okay. And then finally we have this Knight of Pentacles, and I think that this is a good kind of result of this vacation. This is like a calm, centered, confident, looking out at the environment and just kind of seeing the possibilities, seeing the path down there that you need to take, really knowing what's going on and being ready for it, being rested, restored, calm. And I think that this is kind of you in the future. I mean, this is an earth card, Virgo, you're an earth sign. I think this is you with that kind of quiet confidence, that assurance, that self-assurance and self-confidence, that you're going to have the peace of mind, the centeredness, the groundedness, the clarity. So you can just kind of look out and you pick a direction. You know exactly where to go now. So I think I see a lot of this kind of chaos and this activity and this upset. It needs to be resolved, but it's going to take some time. It's going to take an actual break, an actual vacation, right? Not the rushing around trying to cram as much shit into one day as you can, but an actual relaxing break, where you're not doing anything, and not just for an hour or two, but for a few days, And I'm sure that there's a way to work that into your life somehow, or at least to some degree where you can get some of the benefits from that, because I think it really is needed for you. Let's do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're going to use the Antique Anatomy Tarot deck, and look at what came out. Didn't even have to try. This is our mystery card, and this is the Devil energy. Okay, this, in some ways, this is saying that through a little bit of solitude, you will find your power, you will find your direction, you will find your creative spirit, you will find your drive, you will find your thing, right? To motivate you, your thing to work on, to do, your purpose, your meaning, Could be a lot of this energy here is taking place because you don't really have that sense of union, that sense of being, on a particular path. You don't have that sense of really being married to your will, your spirit, your purpose, your soul, It could be that you feel a little bit adrift in your own body, your own energy, your own spirit, okay? The Devil energy, that goat energy, this is someone that kind of does things alone, has the solitary vibe to them, So I think that as much as you're involved in this union with that Lover's card, I think this is kind of a journey that you have to do internally. You have to kind of do it for yourself to find your clarity, your purpose, your meaning, find your heart and your spirit again. Find your direction, your path. I don't think anyone can do it for you. And I think anyone coming in to try to do that for you or do that with you causes some of this upset. Okay? I think as much as you want that union, the union isn't really the issue. It is almost like your union with yourself, Like you have to do that inner work and find your inner direction and purpose and your own inner stability in order to really make the most of this environment that you're in, the circumstances that you're in, okay? And the thing about the Devil is that goat is very, very adaptable. This figure can survive on any kind of food and any kind of environment and any kind of weather, okay? So this is suggesting to me that your spiritual purpose, your will, your plan, your fulfillment doesn't need a certain environment. The environment is not the issue. It's the connection. It's your will, your expression of that, your understanding of yourself and of your purpose. A lot of us think that, well, if only I lived in a different place, or I had a different environment, different circumstances. If I was born in a different land or a different time, things would be different, and I'd be able to be spiritually fulfilled and reach my spiritual goals. But that's not, I don't believe anyway. I don't believe that's how it works. I think we're here in this situation now, and this is where we have to do the work. This is the environment that is right for us right now, for the work that we have to do right now. That's the Devil. Thank you very much for letting me read for you. We're going to do an extended. If you want to click on the link, that's right there. You can have access to all of the extended readings. This was your monthly tarot reading for February 2023 on Dove and Serpent Tarot.